Hey, what's up, guys? This is Coach Irons. So, today I just wanted to talk to you guys about the importance of watching film when you're involved in a sport like wrestling, right? So, this is what it is. This is what it is, point blank, period, right? When you go to school and you learn a subject, let's say math, right? You practice inside the classroom, your teacher gives you homework, and then guess what? You go home, you do that homework to reiterate what you learned, right? If you have problems on that homework, what do? You turn to exterior resources like YouTube, a tutor. You use your resources like the textbook, correct? So, why should wrestling be any different? It shouldn't, right? You go to practice, that's your classwork. Outside of the classroom, you should be watching film. That film is your exterior resource, correct? You should be watching everyone wrestle. You should be watching beginners wrestle. You should be watching high schoolers, college, world, and Olympic. Here's the reason why. When you watch beginners wrestle, let's say you're an intermediate wrestler. When you watch beginners wrestle, you will be able to pinpoint mistakes. Oh, they didn't hit a sweep single around the knee. That's why they got out funked. Like, you should be able to point out, oh, that was a nice setup. Let me see how he did that, right? You should be able to point out, nice hip bump on top, nice breakdown, right? Those are tools. Those are tools that you can use. You should be watching the worst kids wrestle. You should be watching the best people wrestle. This will help you grow and expand your knowledge of the sport. You should be doing technique analysis anytime you see someone get a takedown or attempt a takedown. You should be rewinding that attempt 20 times in a row. I kid you not. You should be rewinding that takedown attempt 20 times in a row, saying, okay, where was his hand placement? Where was his foot placement? Where was his head placement? How did he get him to step towards him to be able to set that shot up? Listen, I will live and die by film watching. If you play football, guess what you do before you go out on the field? You watch film on your opponents. You watch practice film so that you can correct your mistakes. You should be watching your practice film. You should be watching your match film. It is vital that you record your match film so that you can critique yourself, or a coach can critique you as well. True story. My very first year of wrestling, it was my sophomore year. I came in the season late. We went to playoffs for football. So I'm coming in, let's say December, right? So everybody else been wrestling since November, October. Actually, October and November. I come in late December. We went to playoffs. We didn't get to wrestling until like December 28th. Like, we lost the match before going to states, the game before going to states, right? I come in the wrestling room, never wrestled before. They teach me a double leg and a half. My very first year wrestling, I went 18-17. Barely had a winning record. Barely had a winning record. That summer, guess what I did? I busted my butt. I put in the extra work. From that time on, I never participated in wrestling as a seasonal sport. I was wrestling year round, correct? Here is the key. Here's the key. So my first year I went 18-17. The very next season, guess what? That whole time leading up to it, I found out about Flow Wrestling back when Flow was free. But guess what? If you don't have a Flow membership, there's YouTube. You can go on YouTube. Content is free. There's endless content on YouTube. Every single day after school, after practice, I would take a shower, I would eat dinner, I would sit in front of my computer for hours on end. After my homework, I would sit in front of that computer and I would watch matches on Flow Wrestling on YouTube for hours on end. I would sit there and watch the same video The same video, a 6-minute match, a 7-minute match, the same video for hours on end, replaying every single collar tie, replaying every single snap down, replaying every single shot, replaying every single takedown attempt. If one of my favorite wrestlers to watch is Aaron Pico, I would say, you know what? I want snap downs like Aaron Pico. I would watch him wrestle. I would watch every time he snapped him down. I would rewind it. Okay, how did he push him to be able to snap him down? Where did his hands go? Where did his feet go? Where did his head go? I would rewind the same snap down 20 times until I visualized it, until I understood the mechanics of it. Correct? That's what I did. Hours on end, day to day, I would watch the same videos. I would find a new video. I didn't care who was wrestling. I didn't care if it was Steve-O Poulin. Steve-O was somebody I watched, those Head and Arms. I would watch Steve-O Poulin. Poulin was a freaking he was an 8-year-old at the time. I was 15, watching anybody and everybody wrestle. Lo and behold, that very next season, I went from a barely winning record, 18-17, to 49-11. I went from being a nobody. I didn't place in counties. I didn't place in districts. I didn't go to regionals. That very next year, 49-11. I got 3rd at county, 3rd at district. I lost the match to go to states. I went to regions. I lost the match to go to states. Listen, it doesn't matter. Oh, I'm not the fastest. I'm not the strongest. Okay, how much work are you putting in? It doesn't matter. You need to do your homework. You need to study. Listen, film is everything. If you didn't learn anything from this video, it is watch film. Watch film. Study the sport of wrestling. To be successful, you have to be a student of the sport. I'll go ahead and leave you with this. One last gem of information, right? There are people in this world who can do the minimum and succeed. Those people are not me. Those people are not you. You must put in the work. You must stop complaining. You must grind it out. That's it. Put in the work if you want to be successful. All right, guys. This is Coach Irons. I'm gonna come up. I'm gonna start making more videos like this. I'm gonna start dropping more gems because a lot of y'all need to hear it. Y'all be cool, man. I'll come back with more content. Peace. Have a blessed day.